carries, and I love it, Riv. We're seeing the guard. We have VALORANT that's going to be IGLing, but not even playing a smoke. He's playing a KO. We switched some stuff around. We've been cooking around stuff for the guard, and also for Sentinels, it's been answered. No more Jet in the last 3 maps that they've played, just abandoning that and keeping TENS full-time on that chamber.
Right, and we did think this map pool could lead to some Jet if they had to do it. We said, oh, okay, Jet could be available. Didn't happen. Qpert brought in after Masters, assistant coach for the guard. Some of these unconventional strats, and we see the Brimstone now. I've always wondered about seeing more Brim on IceBox. Those 18-second smokes almost put you within a window of being aggressive, right? You put down smokes, and it's either a hard fake to the other side, or you don't have smokes anymore. Be super interesting to see how they play it. A focus for now here, guard on attack first. This is the final map, so picked by neither, just thrown in off of what was banned. Let's see who's done their homework. Dapper's pushing into maze for the wall.
Oh, I love it. The wall also gives the information with all of these shots coming in that it is a hard hit for the guard towards the A side. Underhand flash, but we're staying safe behind the Jenny. That's 2 opening kills coming out, make that even Sentinels across the board. The last one is going to be spotted on top of that too, in front of the orb, and that Saya player. Elise is not going to get the flawless to start things off for Sentinels, but we continue to trade these pistols back and forth between Sentinels and the guard so far, unless Saya player pulls out some magic. 4 bullets left off the Headhunter, make that even 3. His position's given away on the top of the A nest, and he's just trying to isolate some 1 versus 1s. Wall's about to come down.
Oh my gosh.
We've fallen back as well, with Zelsis going into back 410. And there's that peek. We're about to see the swing. That's it. The frenzy from Zelsis. He made ends meet. Sentinels gets the pistol.
Dapper's wall creating such a nasty choke point right there that guard had to get through. As soon as that wall went down, yeah, it broke and it didn't have much time to solidify fully, but it became much less of an angle that Sentinels had to bear down on to take down the guard as they piled through that bottleneck. First round Sentinels, it's kind of, this is how it's gone. Sentinels grab first round, first half. Guard have grabbed second round pistol of second half. We'll see if it stays true for this game. They're keeping it consistent for us. Pretty much unbreakable here as they throw a 0 point over to get a quick check. Little bop there onto Shroud, so they don't get too much information. Viper's playing B. Sweet moves. Very articulate with the drone. I like it. I like it.
Hey,
one way going up.
Dodge the dart.
Yeah.
Continues to dance. Fight comes in now as the rest of the guard are trying to get some control towards this B main, but that Poison Orb is just slowing things down a lot here, courtesy of Shroud. Still has snake bites to work with. And the thing is, right now for the guard is they don't have a Sage. So if you're going to try to go for these tap plants, then snake bites could slow them down, and somehow TENS gets a Headhunter headshot onto Trent. Going through the smoke, second one to fall. Side player answers back on yellow. And it's going to be chamber on chamber, but a drop on the other end, and the 180 for the kill. The ping coming out, Junipie with the right click, and now it's a 3 versus 1. Things look pretty good after all here for the guard on their eco.
Yeah, nicely done. TENS been able to find a pretty great frag here, getting up onto that box and or that barrel on Snowman. You just take somebody's head off on the crates down towards B-Long. So easy peasy to start that one off. Headhunter coming in big. His Vandals are picked up along with some Spectres being saved. And the guard do get in for some damage. And we've seen an A and a B now. Kind of testing out the map, seeing what feels good. Making sure they're not going to slip on any black ice or they get into the site and get a plant down. Only a few frags suffered by the side of Sentinels here, so a lot of armor saved, a lot of money there to be worked with in these next few rounds as the bonus comes through.
Also doing a good job of getting information from both of these KOs so far. VALORANT getting a ping earlier on. This round is going to be Zelsis tagging 2 into the B main. Shazam also getting information with the Elementals. Pinging 1 and spawning a second in the back of mid. So understanding now that the guard are holding a default to start things off. No rotates coming out yet, but you have to get ready for deniability on this B site, where Shroud is going to have to play it solo at least for now.
Yeah, they've kept the same defense on the side of Sentinels so far. Test with weapons now on the last round. Rinse and repeat here for the guard. A nice Viper's Bite to come out, slow things down. It's all about the delay so the rotation can come in. And already 3 members at B for Sentinels here to defend.
And just the little things too. Shroud understanding that the knife is going to get ready, stays outside of the radius towards orange, puts another snake bite onto the ground, but at least we still get a plant for the guard. Now the attempt of the retake. off not really a bonus here. We got 4 rifles and 2 Spectres on the defense for Sentinels. And there's a lot of utility being held, but still a 5 versus 4. Player advantage, Slow Orb allowing Sentinels to creep forward, but Saya players evening up the tally. In the back of Yellow, Haunt coming out, breaking crosshair placement, but a double swing in the front. The Molly missed on top of that too, but it's a lineup to allow Valorant to get only 1. But after that, that's going to end it. Dapper gets the kill on the second one, and at some point if that Molly was on the ground, it was going to be a different story for sure.
They get another one and the res. Sentinels feeling so good about this. And I was thinking about them like, okay, no wall, no Sage wall, they still get the plant down. And I feel like with the no Sage, you're saving yourself from now KO being able to attack you through the wall. Viper still having been able to attack you through the wall, right? That's going to be something you almost deal with all the time. So they forego that, put down more smokes to create their own angles, but still Sentinels find a way with their initiators in hand to get through and make sure that defense is there. Dapper's wall has been coming in huge. Like just the retake tech he's been using, the places he's putting it is giving Guard a hell of a time to get their positioning down.
You bring up a great point about the fragment against the wall, so we'll see if the Guard has something cooked up once they play a defense against Sentinels. But looking at the round so far, this is supposed to be an eco for the attack half. Now we spot some legs to make it a 4 versus 4. I was going to say we had a great start with Shazam falling early.
Saya player real hurt on this one. Looks like he is kind of taking a backseat to be in a second peak. As Jonah P here. Sheriff first.
That's crazy. He pulls out a total false at low HP, as you just mentioned. So they're really banking on Saya player getting an opener here, and it's an off angle from Tens at Yellow.
This is hold. It's like a mid hold, but look, the rendezvous position that Tens has is so interesting. That gas wall goes up, instantly protects him from mid, so now he can just focus, but it's not quick enough. Saya player's quicker.
We wanted to know it was going to flick faster, and it's going to be Saya player indeed. It puts value into that dual false, and now we have a plant for the attack. But 2 players already inside this B site, a third to be met up, and look at how far we are from net. I have a feeling we got something cooked up with post plant potentially, or a late lurk. But the null command comes out from Valorant on top of that too. There is that Molly that lands first. And now things are looking tougher and tougher now to have Sentinels play this retake. Wall coming up. 4 block.
Fights.
Yeah. We're still trying to deny as much as we can. Even an orbital
my god.
Everything's just cycled so well into the total falls from Saya player to get a 4K into the round. And that was really nice from the Guard. I'm not going to lie.
I love this from the Guard. We've kind of seen it come online for the last few rounds, the way the smokes are playing out, the way the wall is playing out. The Viper wall, so nicely placed, because if we get a peek of it again, it goes up into the top area, right? So you're actually blocking off a lot of what people bring Omen to the table for, to get that high smoke, to get the wall down and have coverage. So great Viper wall towards B. They throw it again to keep that consistency there, so Sentinels think B is a possibility. And they've just been able to cycle the rest of the utility to keep Sentinels out of the sight. That was a hell of a post plant. How many mollies and after effects were they throwing out there, right? Almost impossible to get. So we really see what the Guard is trying to do with this composition.
There's also a composition in the past from the Guard where I actually really like to see Valorant going for the Poison Orb on top of Rafters with when they had an Omen playing in. And speaking of the Viper, it's actually Net playing it all the way towards Spawn. Catches Tens off guard, and that is going to be, speaking of Guard, on that player advantage, who Net continues to ADS down towards mid. Shazam peeking out. No kills coming in.
Bit of a miss molly there. They wanted that on Jenny. They wanted that to clear out where actually Dapper would be, so a bit of hesitation now for the forward push. The Guard could have had an effectiveness, and they will meet 3 members of Sentinels once they do finally get a push on here. This wall just dividing and decaying if they try to come through from the defensive side. Nice flash through. A little bit of teamwork, but they don't see anything. I think the Guard's positioning here is perfect for what they want to do.
The 2 sets of gunshots. Don't know if there's a third, and that's Shazam that's running across, and yeah, nice little kill there from Jonah P. Gets traded out, but now you got Shroud out in his lonesome. Even spotted by the trademark. You're gonna feel the full force of that slow field and picks up a Vandal to try to save it for the next round. Great patience by the Guard too.
Nicely done. A few of the things, like I said, the molly didn't go their way, but still the guard found the patience to get through. And as I said, I think one of the big things there was with that wall up, the guard were anticipating a push through. The longer you wait, maybe Sentinels will make a play since they have a pusher on the map and they're kind of trying to read it. Right when that flash goes through, they read that Sentinels would back through their wall, and guard did such a nice job at then zero pointing to find the retreating Sentinels and take the site. So super methodical there by the guard, reading out how Sen wanted to play defense. Like you said, we do have a Vandal save here. The guard go ahead and pick up another round. Operator for Saya player.
The respect that the guard has for Sentinels. 4 players versus 1. Having money in the pockets for a bit and like, yeah, screw it. We're just going to use all of our initiator utilities to clear out towards the back A side and just hold it there because you're playing against Shroud that could do the aim battle duel against you from Garage, and it's not gonna pan out, at least for Shroud, to do some econ damage, and for the guard, at least you get the round as well. 1 round away of tying things up, putting right now once again Sentinels into an eco position where Shroud could play this Hero Vandal that he saved from that previous round. He's playing it towards mid.
Perfectly waited for. Even without a lot of the information from these teams, everybody playing it close to the chest in the past few weeks and scrims and everything, we still see the little know-it-alls and the things that teams may still be trying to do to each other to get that upper hand. A quick dart destroyed in mid, and now a patient push. Possibly 2 members in a kind of anti-flash crossfire. You see here it was Elsis and Dapper as they just keep a check on a position. In the iPad and moving forward.
Overhand throw though, but it's still being held with the crossfire by Sentinels, but the weapons weren't enough. Little pistols that they had the great positioning, but that little flash peek under the poison orb was just good enough for the guard. Things are looking good. Maybe Shroud going for another save, or this time could actually look for the econ damage if he wants to.
They've been loving B here, and great job by guard to actually shut down what was kind of an anti-eco, or not anti-eco, but an eco strat rather, from the side of Sentinels, setting up to expect guard in mid to have 3 members there. So really well played around each other. Guard having a set play in mind and being able to execute that, only losing net on this one, and another plant at B. Again, Sentinels fall. Every game has been so close. This has been an incredible series so far. We're going to 3-3 on this one. Top left of your screen will tell you the story of the maps previously. Both teams being able to take their map pick. We'll see what IceBox brings us now as we get into round 7 here. Ultimate's about to come online. We're just a few away from being on deck for the side of the guard. Shazam and Zelsis are ready. Null Command ready to shut down a round here. Looks like it's actually going to play in the middle. They've run out. They may not be where they're set to be, but Zelsis looks like he will be a full lean towards B or A this game to get that Null Command in place when necessary. They won't commit him just yet. Sen call a timeout. How to use these ults, what they've been seeing, recap what the guard has been doing. They've noticed the favoritism towards B, most likely. And a lot of the times they've been waiting out Sentinels' strategies. So that could be another one. If Sentinels tells themselves, okay, if we execute and make noise, be then even more prepared that it will be a second hit from the guard, thinking we've relaxed. You know, you've let down your guard, if you will. Yep. So a lot of talks going on here, so Sen can get the game back in their favor.
And this is a comp that's used quite often that Sentinels is currently using. So thinking of where the position could be, Viper well towards the A side on defense. Okay, get ready for a KO for flashes through there, or how to run the deniability from the Viper throwing her snake bites the poisoner towards B. And the guard has been doing a really good job of just holding slow defaults, big executes, even staying towards spawn side. So a lot of tricks under their sleeve where Sentinels have to figure out what's the next one in the playbook or which one are they going to recycle. There was nothing that was a constant tell from the guard in the first few rounds that they ran through. And we just talked about this, Riv, where we got a third map. We wouldn't want it any other way between Sentinels and the guard. And mind you, we actually still have another series after this.
I am so ready. Saya player with the operator. He wants to bring out the trouble. His first bloods have been amazing. Last map, 6-1. He already has one for himself. In the 8 frags he does have and wants to get some more. Tens actually goes down there to Trent, who's been having a hell of a series for himself, too. Shroud gets delivered.
Tens has always been at the right place at the right time, but still gets shut down on the aim duels in the past few rounds at least. And you saw Shroud trying to trade it back, but they both get knocked down. As now everybody's just falling. It's already a minute left on the clock.
Yeah,
this is a save.
An incredibly uncharacteristic round. The push seemed a little disjointed there. The coverage for B long is a little harder to do because you saw Shroud was covering the left side if they came around elbow and then a garage play. So it's hard to cover the 1v1s play out as they do. And actually we see the guard doing really nice at kind of playing solo 1v1 plays, bringing out the star power and not needing each other as they did on Breeze, right? Those Breeze firefights were going in favor of Sentinels. It just took a bit of time for guard to wipe off those cobwebs. Still, the operator is going to be in play. 300 in credits here, and guard has been able to string some rounds together, so it's going to be max buy for Sen, but they will not have time to give a goodbye into this next round. Jonah P is going to end that one on Zelsis. 4-3 as the guard pull away by 1.
The guard back in the lead when we always had a great start for Sentinels, but this continues to go back and forth. And you saw it, I mean, even if it's hard to watch this long B side from these two players, you still had great forward position. That's unorthodox for where Tens was at, because you already saw that it was actually an initiator being Trent playing towards his B main, and he wasn't ready to use any of his prowlers into Garage anyways. So this could have been one of those great moments to catch one off guard. And sure, we talked about it. I mean, Trent's ready to play in the series.
A double 0 point towards B. It just ships in the night as they cross through the air. Push up. Oh, the play. Zelsis.
Balance saw him. Maybe not enough. A 1-for-1. Hot coming up. Dapper's just trying to slow things down for a bit, and that's 2 kills from Jonah P just going across the rappel. They're going to hate it right now being there on the receiving end, being Sentinels up there, and they got to find a way to stop the 410 crosses. But again, this is one of those moments where you saved a couple of rifles, you don't have too much to work with. Vulnerabilities from the snake bite from Shroud. And you hear the Viper's Pit coming out from Net Elise on the pulse plant to try to guarantee the round. So yeah, a nice attempt to start things off, but the retake is going to be close to impossible. 2 Marshals in a classic.
360 Marshals, if you will. Oh, no, he dropped one. No, he only had much less chance to get one. Great round by the guard here to get back in, to smother, to know they had the upper hand in guns. A quick find by Trent there as Shazam runs through, just pressing the W key here as they look to pick up the last few kills on the round. Spike's going to be going down towards this one. Good damage, though, by Shazam, actually. Really credited there to be able to do some work on the econ. But look at that, 9 grand in the hands. Asaya player feeling good. Operator still there. The guard starting to take control here. It has seemed like the Sentinels had more of the groove throughout a lot of this series overall. With as close as the games have been, I feel it's weighed towards them in the way they've played, the strength they've taken rounds. Guard now, Sleeping Giant coming online, and they are playing strong. Operator versus operator now. Tens is going to have that one out. It doesn't look like we'll get a duel out of them just yet, as one is mid and one is B here. But we'll see how they switch things up.
Ooh, the timing on that one, too. A Saya player just got pinged out. He's going to fall back for a bit. And again, to talk about these changes, Jonah P going into a Brimstone. Ender talked about how it was really good for the retakes as well when you're playing a Brimstone on the defense. But what I also like is having this Brimstone in the attack allows this post-plan lineup that you lose from shock darts from Silva that you're not using currently from Trent. What Trent does is it allows these the fall to get information on top of the null commands, and that's a split from the guard into the B site. And that also allows Saya player to flush some players out, get a kill at the Shazam. The push from Shroud as he got pinged out from the Nightfall. But again, another one of those rounds where you're getting into the site, you've got numbers advantage, and you're on a 4 versus 2 with the KO knife trying to get some information. But thankfully, there's a res, there's an null command available for the retake with Zelsis.
Remy with the stimmy, pushing the guard through here. They get into sight, but it's going to be Sentinels retake. 3 members closing in, all coming from the same position here. And look at this retake by the guard. They're able to come in from almost every spot they want to try and find the flank, but are they too far away now? Oh, Valen says no!
Who cares when Valen gets these kills like that?
Incredible, incredible by Valen. With the distance the rest of the team was there, that actually could have been real scary for the side of the guard. Valen Absolute out of his mind play. Out of his mind play to get that turn as well on the flash. 1-2, control for distance as well, right?
Yep.
A distance transfer, which actually doesn't mean you're moving it too much. That's where your recoil is going to be present after 3 or 4 shots. So just an incremental movement of the mouse. Hot damn, what a round by Valen. He does it again. And like you said, all of guard coming online. The Vandal as well to boot, like you said.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we just saw that ZCs pop off and go backwards on accident. But it's still going to be an A round here for the guard. They're just feeling it. They're vibing, moving forward after round 3 up on Sentinels now.
Well, Sentinels has something else to say. Early wall towards the B main to get some information while you have... Looks like Shroud on the top of the rafters by the screen sign, so we can actually look up towards Belt. That's Saya player that gets picked off. And speaking of Valen on that 4K in that previous round, that's 2 4Ks in his head. That's been in quick succession. And speaking of him, gets another opener into the site, but it gets traded off by a snake bite landed by Shroud. So Shroud getting 2 kills for Sentinels into this round. Trent picking up a rifle. Ten's pushing forward with the headhunter, but cannot connect onto the kill. Things were looking pretty good on the lower part that we had for Sentinels, but we flattened things out on the momentum that was built on Sentinels' first kills. Here comes a plant attempt. 2 shotguards coming in, and Shazam gets to connect onto Trent. But somehow, it's a 1 versus 2. Low HP onto Net. Unfortunately, cannot capitalize onto the kill as Shazam almost caught him off guard. Picking up Elisa Phantom on a 2 versus 1. But 1 made it towards the back of the site, and 1 is sandwiching him towards the front. Does have the Phantom for the pre-fired shot. Back onto the top. Drops down to make the other tap. And the swing comes in from behind from the backstab. And that is going to be the guard able to win that round that was expensive. At least that was made by Sentinels.
Incredible stuff. You could see just how tight it got because there was definitely a call to Shazam that Net was 1. Net was 1 shot. You could see he wasn't peeking unless it was going to be the last thing that he could do on this earth. And it was going up to Saya player to take their first shot. So really nicely played out there by the guard in a situation Shazam was absolutely hunting for. 7-3 here. Possibly our biggest difference between between these teams in a half. We could be seeing if Sentinels cannot bring this back to 7-5.
Wow, that was a quick orbital strike towards the A site. But we're still able to just stay alive right now from Shroud's Viper's Pit and go back in there to reset the fuel in there. But for the rest of the guard, everything stays slow. After this timeout, you can see it's just, let's try to isolate and get some information. This is off Sage walls from Dapper on the B site. We didn't really have too much of a Sage Viper combo on either sides of the maps, right? Usually when you're seeing a little bit of information, the slow orbs could help to slow things down here on the attack. But guard, they have full control right now every time that they're running these defaults.
It's interesting to see the style of play that Tens is having on his chamber. We're not seeing too many forward rendezvous kind of back plays. A lot of site defensive rendezvous plays. Well, he's still getting kills in sight. It hasn't tried to be too aggressive, and he's keeping himself alive to play more with the team here. Double smoke going down so they can go through mid into spawn. Nicely done is to get themselves caterpillared right into the A site on screens.
But the 0 point spotted all 3 players, so the rotates coming out. Tens wins the fight for the lurk on B main, so that's huge. Now we're playing all the way towards the back. The underhand throw on the top of 410, but it doesn't spot opponents in the back. 0 point coming on the other end. We're playing the pulse plan. It's going to be dangerous for the guard to try to hold this back. This is one of those unorthodox positions just because you're trying to play inside a Viper's mid. And now Saya player gets the no-scope there onto Celsius, but we're diffusing onto that spike, like I said. Going to be very hard to do here on that retake. And Sentinels, it hold that round beautifully.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. Being able to shut down, if anything, went B. Tens was there for the early call, so you saw the rotation more towards mid, more towards A, getting prepared for some type of strategy. In another strategy where we see guard trying to open up mid, trying to disperse the middle of the map and be right in the middle of Sentinel's composition right away. It's something they tried to do on Breeze numerous times through double doors. Seems like Sentinel's getting aware of that now. And they had a really nice defensive setup. Obviously, Viper's Pit is going to give you a pretty king of the hill aspect on A once they realized they walked into it. But yeah, nicely played. Trying to bring back that 7-5 and keep it as close as possible for Sentinels. Operators just on the other side of these walls playing a little game of cat and mouse. And the Prowlers are going to figure this one out first. Maybe not. It does not see.
Tens has a great opportunity to go for. Oh, in all of this timing, and dinks coming out from Shroud, but unfortunately, no kills. So now the null command comes out from Valley. Sentinels trying to make it another 7-5, but Nightfall coming on the attack too, and we've cleared out towards this B site. Easy plant coming in. How's the post plant gonna work?
Everybody down towards B for now. Only site is going to be the Rendezvous Zaya player. 0 point fine, so that actually nixes Rendezvous for now. It's going to take a little bit of time, and that's the gain. Pressure here.
Oh,
a missed shot.
Got an op. Missed shot. Molly coming out once again. The annoying Molly from that Brimstone. Now that's going to run that clock down. We got to try to push quickly. Dapper comes up at the wall. C's being thrown. Nice little jiggle peek with the headshot at the Valiant. Now we're sticking onto that spike.
Wall.
We're peeking up. Dapper's saving it so far. We're trying to break the wall. He gets a third kill. Looks for the fourth. We get the defuse there for the Sentinels with the Red Bull clutch. And we're ending it 7-5.
Get down, Mr. President. He's verified. You got to save him while he defuses. Holy crap. Literally, the kills before the wall were great, right? Dapper using this wall tech constantly to get the diffuses down, and then as it breaks, he positions to bodyguard. A perfect play there, goes down at the same time. But it's enough. It's enough. They get the defuse. They bring it to 7-5.
My God, and it's also enough here from us on the first half. Let's take a quick breather and see the conclusion of this series between the Guard and Sentinels. Well, we had that little break. I had a chance to go through the timelines of Twitter, and I got to give a shout out to Harmful over at TSM that actually did mention that so far between at least the first two maps, Trent is 17-0 in duels against Shroud. That's actually insane. That's actually insane.
Wow. Trent stock's going up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we talked about it, man. He was feeling the series, and he's looking to feel it again with some early information up towards mid with a Prowler there, trying to go for something aggressive. 0 point going out towards yellow, and that's courtesy of the attack from Zelsis. But Sentinels, again, another of those rounds where you're just staying close and slow at the beginning of the spawn.
Take flight. Playing it patient. Drone actually commits quite a bit. Your opponents hear drone, and they will consider that quite a bit of that play is going to be towards B. And you see a bit of that rotation mid towards B is held. Nice job by Shazam. So he's really trying to play with the minds of Guard right now. Guard have left sites, left original positions, still in position to get these sites in their favor, but this is what Sentinels did on Breeze. Walk it up until you see contact, and that's the contact they were looking for. Wall goes up to the left side, and Sentinels will try to get this plant down. Maybe.
Oh my God, Trent! That's a high-low, almost lands them both, but that's going to be Tenza lands both of them on the top of 410. Net now being flushed out by the snake bite and also dropped down. And that's Jonah P on a 3 versus 1. And thankfully with the Sage Wall. I was going to say maybe it's a bad Sage Wall after wall because that's 2 players that made out the ropes to get the kill, but thankfully Tenz is there for the trade to save the round for Sentinels. And as these pistol rounds went back and forth, this is now finally 2 in a row on this map.
There it is. Sentinels are able to string a few together. The first 2 of the series as they have gone back and forth. And again, a very big contact round. Like I said, we saw that on Breeze. There are rounds where there's only been 1 round per a full map now on both Breeze and Ascent where Sentinels flipped the trigger and they went a hard aggressive strat, right? So we might see that again. And then it's mostly this kind of walk-up contact strategy that they've been playing. Early round absorption of the utility from Guard, and then they get into the face, finding you with 3 people almost immediately. Here, it's a bit of a sit-back line of scrimmage from both teams where Guard has taken a position in mid.
And that position in mid is spotting Tenz, who's going to be the anchor, trying to find, basically being a Killjoy turret, and hoping to get some headshots with that Headhunter. And that's 4 players looking to go through. Even maybe a toxic screen on it too long. And we're just going to walk it out instead. Meanwhile, it could have been a good timing, but we're rotating back towards orange. Because technically, you could think that there's going to be a trademark that's going to be watching that flank.
Back up, quick in, Sage Wall. What else would we expect? And look, that kind of denies the chance if you can get the mollies in to hit that left side, but still instantly cleared.
And also, thankfully, Valiant sits around the rest of an eco for the guard.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You get a kill with the molly, but the plant comes in at least for Sentinels. And welcome to VALORANT Shroud. If you're going to be the designated spike planter, you might get into those. Zelsis, though, headshot onto Valen. Player advantage. Actually, it's evened up as we have snake bites, shock darts coming down. And there you go.
Oh,
Sentinels
my
across
word.
the board. Saya player by himself in the front of the B site. Swings out. 3 players now spotted. And that's now 7-7.
Teleport's ready.
Zelsis doing a boaster in the smoke cosplay kill there. He's just like left, right. I'm shooting through the smokes, and these are mine. Really nicely done on the retake there, making sure that guard could not encroach enough to get themselves diffused, or the spike diffused, I should say. And Sentinels go on to their bonus here. What will they be able to purchase? They do get a Vandal for Shazam. He's been watching the flank mostly if we continue consider what he's been doing from map to map. So you'll have that kind of watching the backside and being able to enter at the last moment with people that may have taken damage. So Shazam staying alive gets big here. An A hit looks like it will be what's going to be cleared out. There's the dart for middle maze. And an interesting Viper's wall. It's kind of deep to the right here. Would allow a lot of space being given for guard to come back through screens, but we do also see this Sage wall continuously being used by Dapper in peculiar positions to cut off a lot of angles. Last one through pistol on screen.
Oh, but the repel, we're not clearing the right. Elisa gets traded out. Shroud coming out with the Spectre. Side player falls in front of sight. This still is an advantage right now for Sentinels to potentially get a plant in, but it still gets slowed down by Net's Poison Orb on the right side. That cancels out, foils out the plan. Because the toxic screen's coming down, and now you just got to wait it out until the next cycle.
Gotta love this. Good luck seeing through this. So 18 seconds to click down. About 40 seconds, I think those will be gone based on when they were fired off. A nice 0 point again to kind of reset the knowledge of the round and where it might be. Seeing Shazam was a big one. Like I said before, knowing where that Sova is, where that initiator find utility is actually quite big. And they have a sonar dart.
Still do the same
seconds left.
execution now. Wall up, recon dart, 0 point. There you go. Now we've committed into the hit. Flash coming outside as well. Molly coming out to deny again if you can. And now you're forcing a little bit of a tunnel to try to get into the site to plant. There's only 14 seconds left on the clock. Zelsis Elise gets the kill onto Trent. Jonah P pushing forward through the smoke. The third kill then onto Shazam. It goes for the 4K!
No way! Absolutely incredible play from Jonah P. Been a little quiet. We talked about the first bloods between him and Saya player. And this time, he steps up huge, playing in the mind of Sentinels. At the moment they all turn to press W and go forward is the moment he preys on the backs. Oh my God, what a big play. Absolutely needed here. And really a statement play to break what was a tie game so far. That's the kind of round you want to just start to separate with. Sentinels still on a bye here. Light armor, though, for some members that could make those duels go in the favor of the guard. We're going to start off a little bit of B pressure, but the push is there from the guard.
Even a 0 point. Spotted a couple of players too, so it's going to be down to the basics. The fundamentals with the rifles as the wall's about to come down, and as it comes down, Shazam actually spots Saya player, and the second kill cannot be traded. Jonah P falls as well, and it's finally going to be one of those rounds where the guard gave that to Sentinels. Get into a site on an early 5 versus 3, it's Sentinels' turn to do that.
Plant the spike. Oh, he goes in. Oh, they call it? Just on the edge of that damage. Oh my gosh.
Unlucky.
Crowd getting tagged just a little bit. Spike has been planted, and they have to find it instant eyes. That makes it maybe harder to get the diffuser once they're pinched in there. If we can get the defense from guard to step forward.
Well, especially after that null command from Zelsis. Now we're tapping onto it. We're trying to stay between the walls. And it's now time for the guard to do that. And we're not going to get it. Shazam sees that one, Elise. And it's a 3 versus 1. Net has the Viper's pit, but it is not going to go for it. Falling back to save his weapon. Woo, skin in the teeth. But Sentinels will make it 8-8.
You have to be kidding me. If it can happen in this series, it's happening. Almost a defuse there. I was so scared that that was going to happen, and it looked like such a clever play from the guard. Trent just squeaking in enough to get the defuse, but Sentinels wanted it just a bit more as they smother that spike with gunfire. 8-8 here. Even with a statement round, Sentinels are able to pull it back into a tie game. Full utility both sides. I'm trying to see if that's what the priority is because the buys won't be the same. It does look like they are going to have that utility they require to push themselves forward. Trademark purchased, kind of sold, being decided here on the side of the guard. Looks like they'll hold on to it to now for saving every single penny. This could be an alt orb to tour de force if they get B control.
Well, now we got the Pac-Man ult.
Oh dear.
Net into this A site, and look at this lurk setup. They're trying to do a little bit of what Tens did, and it works out. But we already have players on the other end of that wall trying to go for the trades. We don't have Shroud up with the wall anymore, so things are going to get a little bit more difficult. Nice underhand flash, but it still gets punished here by Shazam, who wasn't affected by the flash on the left side of green. Aldron to look out, and thankfully with Shroud being down, we still have a Sage that's alive. Now Trent is stuck on the top, and there's the flank. Now, nice jiggle peek. It's spotted out. Shazam goes for the white swing, and now it's just Trent. Classic in hand. And, okay. Ooh. Okay. Nice little dink if he had a better weapon, but Dapper does the same.
What is it with Dapper and these sidestep through the wall shots? He did it on the Jenny, on Ascent. We saw some on Breeze. Oh my word. His ability to get that kind of dead space in the starting of his strafe to shooting is incredible. Like, oh my word. Multiple times. It's really hard to defend against that or play against that, and that's why we see 17 and 12 Sage. I said it in the previous maps. Sentinels have always played it unconventional. It doesn't have to be just the duelist going in. It was sick, right? It was Dapper as the duelist going in. They still do it. They find a way to make this comp flow, to use utility for each other, and to keep it in the game. 9-8 here as they take the lead from the guard. Still super close on our final map.
Aldron does not spot anyone, but at least 0 Point did. And that's 3 players stacked up in the back of the side of the guard, and we're quickly rotating back towards mid. And that is Jiggle Peek by Trent. The wall, and looking for not even a split. It's going to be a 4-player commit towards Orange. An orbital strike coming down from Jonah P. Brimmy with the stimmy, taking the position on the other end here, using the sound of the orbital strike to mask his position now on an off angle just behind the boxes. But Tens clears it out, takes him down, and it's now a 4 versus 2 as Trent and Net answers back towards Kitchen. Now Saya Player with the duel to Fuss looks down. He hears that spike going down, and as he leads back out, Saya Player gets the kill onto Dapper. Now it's up to Shazam. He does have the Hunter's Fury, and he's up against 4 players. And that's a 0 Point. They actually didn't hit him. Swinging back out, getting the first kill, but the swing comes right out from Trent. Easy trade, and now we're tied up once again, 9-9.
The choices right now by the guard. I mean, we saw how post-plant the guard was able to play, right? Mollies after mollies, taking things back, being able to push the opposing team off. And then we see Jonah P here microwaving an open space. As soon as they go under tube, he hits Sentinels. Right? The quick decisions right now from the guard are impressive in the way that they're playing this game. It's going to be required because Sentinels now at this point are pulling out a lot of things we haven't seen. A little bit more mid-play. It's not just the A to B, the A to B. They're trying to spread the map. They are playing fast. They flipped the switch, and they've had a few more fast rounds where, again, we only saw 1 between their previous maps. So here, they are testing the guard. The guard's adapting and vice versa. Like, this series has been absolutely incredible to see both teams come back in with their changes, coach changes, roster changes, and be able to present this. And I can't wait to see how much more they do together in this tournament for themselves. Ultimates are ready coming in here. Sentinels are calling a timeout at 9-9.
The guard's doing an amazing job actually to even contain Tens, Zelsis, and Shroud. Look at them on the board right now.
Right.
3 players that we talked about, heavy hitters, 4 Sentinels in this roster, but they catch Shroud off position. They're able to win duels against Shroud. Tens gets forward position, has timing, cannot win the duels. It's just these guys are on point right now from the guard. It's just being quick on the flicks. And like I said, Trent is really ready to play, and they're really getting hyped up after all these 4Ks that Jonah P gets, Trent gets, Valen gets. Saya Player even got a 4K with a 13 HP tool to false in this very map. So these guys are just vibing across the whole series in this 3rd map, and it starts here. Upshot missed.
50 HP. Sai, you know he'll take another shot. He'll be up for another one. This could be another one of those contact rounds so far. Drone will go out first. A lot of times anybody can reposition after a drone. We don't see Sentinels quickly moving up with that. Of course he takes the shot. Dapper goes down the wall that's given Sentinels so much control inside the site is gone. To see if they can organize and get themselves in here. Tour de Force and Vandals to make it happen.
Look at that. We actually have a lot of ultimates just to get positioning here to at least try to get a plant down, but we have a Nightfall ready as well for Trent for the retake, and it comes out right away as soon as they hear the tap. And here comes a Hunt inside as well, Prowlers to come out to help out to flush out the Viper's Pit. And now Shroud has to look left and right, and it's Jonah P to drop the Viper's Pit, drop the Spike Carrier as well, and it's Tens on a 3 versus 1, sneaking through the tunnels of smokes. Left and right, getting ready for the double swing. Tens with the first kill, but Net comes back from the generator for the trade, and that's the guard back in the lead, 10-9.
Jonah P is stepping up so big right now. The rest of the team obviously flowing with him, but the frags he has been able to change, the impact frags he's had to change the round. Drawing the last shot as well from Tens, going down is the assist to your teammate, right? Never forget who passed the ball for the assist. And a lot of those are going to the Brimmy Stimmy right now. As you see, 8 on the board for Jonah P. 10-9. They continue to change leads, Van Silly. Literally our last map. And they cannot hold it for more than one round. Can Sentinels again come back? It's a low buy this time. It's starting to be that taxing. And Shazam down to 1 HP to start. What?
That's insane. 1 HP.
There's a heal.
Well,
okay, there's a heal. He's getting the sponge bath. We're good.
And thankfully, Dapper also has a res if anything does go foul at the beginning of this round.
Just go and get taken out. Res ya. Oh, my word. All right, let's see how they play this, Vance. Sonar Bolt is out. It's a 2-2-1 with a kind of a lean towards 3 for the guard. So they do have a bit of positioning here to retaliate. But I wonder what this duo team on Sentinels is doing over at A and what they can provide.
That's Jonah P that broke the dart to allow Sio players still keep a forward position towards yellow. Now with the 0 point, there's no TP. He TP's just before, actually. The 0 point pings out, so now Sio player gives up his position, and that's Sentinels leading back towards the A site.
Remember, Sonar Bolt was fired quite a while ago, so this timing puts Shazam back in A just about when that's coming back up. And they'll be able to fire in. They showed KO util and Shazam's util. There's the dart, there's the entry.
Wall up 2, Shroud's gonna plant it safe. Fragment onto the ground, and Shroud makes it out unscathed, but now at least the guard knows that it's not positioned in a pulse plant position for Sentinels, so they can just retake from the back of the site.
Can Jonah P make it around in time? He's still trying to decide what the flank is. Oh, Shazam does go down. They know that's the flank watch, but will they know there's one more lurking?
Jonah P's gonna dip right now. On this retake, Sio player drops another one. Dapper, who's been a hero for the team so far, is just trying to hold back towards 410. Molly towards the front, and like I said, it's not planned for them, so the wall comes out, the Molly to walk out the area too, allowing for this diffuse to go down so easily for the guard. We're now at 11. 2 more rounds for the guard to move forward to knock down Sentinels to lowers.
They finally separate the rounds just a little bit from going back and forth, punch and punch. And Jonah P again, it looked like a frag on Shazam, but it's a pivotal frag. It's one that Shroud had to worry about whether that flank was still coming in and could not assist the team, right? So guard, take control of the map, take control of mid, but give it up. And Sentinels didn't know that. The full force of the guard coming through, like you said, spawn side and retake the round. A low buy again, Guardians coming out. And Sentinels trying to Guardian this right now. Their first game back with this roster. They look to come out strong. There is so much power on this team. But the guard may have the final read here in the last few rounds, Vansili. It's getting close to game point.
Getting a lot of reads here from the 0 points coming out from Valen, from the Prowlers coming out from Trent 2, and just heroic rifling from every single one of these players across the board. It's this
wild.
very map. It's insane how they look so far for the guard, but you're not out of it yet right now for Sentinels. They still have that firepower for this roster. It stays really, really slow. After they got pinged out here, Riv, by the 0 point, you're still just going to try to hold as much as you can. The Owl Drone to try to clear out just a bit, maybe try to sell a double fake, a double pump back into B. It seems to be the case.
Such a neat wall, too. We've seen this from Net. Allows him to play mid, right? If he wants to put that wall up, he can go through mid. He can go to tube. He won't be seen from attacker spawn. The case is, though, it is going to be a death ball to be for Sentinels here. Null command comes out. W keys press. Sentinels looking to close this round gap.
You want this because this allows the wall to come up and potentially get the plant without having a fragment be landed on the ground. But yeah, Trent gets the kill onto Shroud. Another one of those duels that's won here by Trent, who gets a second kill, but at least we get a plant down for Sentinels. The push forward coming out from TenZ, spotting 2 players at orange before he TPs back. A 5 versus 3, Poison, Viper's Pit available for net on a retake if they want to, but he's still watching that flank while the rest are pushing forward. Orbital Strike coming down here on the defense. It takes down Zelsis. It doesn't work out for the post plant. TenZ is on his lonesome. 4 players swinging out. We get the defuse for the guard. And they are at map and series point.
And they're focusing Trent. They're still thinking ahead. This game is not won as close as it is. Nightfall is going to be on deck. Viper's Pit is there if they want a Pac-Man A to start things off. Incredible answers right now from the guard and what Sentinels is trying to actually activate at B. They have the Sage Wall. It's instantly getting broken. It doesn't seem to be providing much more than the few rounds of advantage it did, and now the guard has adapted. So they're continuously routing these strategies and combinations of utility that Sentinels want to use, and they just seem to be coming up short on the side of Sentinels now because the guard is answering so well on defense and retakes. A stack towards A mid here for the guard. They leave just Jonah P at B.
Jonah P's at B with 5 players looking to fight against them. We're not actually going for any shots to retaliate back. We're just trying to play the contact first as we clear it out towards green or Sentinels.
Ultimate's there for Dapper. They can play a little bit aggressive to get one to go down, but it has to be a safe res. The wall, same wall. Is it a different plant, though? They pushed forward. First time they've gone this far through their own wall.
And Zelsis gets the wall bang onto Jonah P, but it's still Trent that's alive. Another player that's been prominent for the team. TenZ finally gets another kill. 4 Sentinels onto Valen. Spike is down. Trent and the rest of the guard. I mean, Saya player is way too far back in A still. And as you mentioned it here, Riv, one of those moments where you're just pushing very quickly. Well, now maybe a save, but with the econ that they have, somehow they land that shot! But it's traded out here by TenZ. Trent back on the top of Kitchen. Somehow a 2 versus 1. No way. Shazam only with the Guardian. Picks up here the second weapon of the Bulldog on the ground. We have it at halfway. He gets the headshot. It's a 1 versus 1. Recon guard out. We're still clicking on that clock. And now we go for the ADS. We're trying to go for the tap. The headshot coming in. And should I say the body kills with the Sam. The Red Bull clutch. And we stay alive for Sentinels.
You can't ask for any more than your IGL top fragging, clutching, keeping you in the game, Shazam using it all because he has it. What a great play here. Showing a little bit of a touch towards the left side, which drew his opponent. Was able to get the 1v1 in the planter and find the same for the next one. An incredibly necessary play. It couldn't have happened any other way for Shazam there. And he keeps Sentinels in this series. Let's see what they have here now coming into round 23. Our first map went to overtime, and Sentinels want this. They are so hungry. Saya player looking for some shots. Operators for both sides. 10 goes down. Saya player first blood.
A mistake there on the crossover, but the res comes out right away from the wall. So that's wall down. That's res down early in this round, but at least the duel de force is still up and running for TenZ.
How do they push? It seems like Sentinels don't really want to do too much until they receive information from the guard again. A little bit. Who's here? What are we facing? Any bit to favor or put the odds in their favor. We see the rotation now coming over from Dapper. He doesn't find too much of a flank. Remember, we got the res back in this one. That was the ultimate we saw focused from Dapper for the last few rounds. B is a hit again, and Sentinels are going to try it.
Oh man, the salvation coming back from the dead and gets the kill. Opener onto Saya player. TenZ gets an important kill, allowing Sentinels to get the plant down. Trent moving forward, slow orb flash, stuck inside the slow orbs as well. And things are looking good, at least for Sentinels on the post plant. TenZ, he's activated. Long have we waited. And Trent is making things a little bit more difficult for the guard to try to go for the retake, so they're saving here. It all will boil down to the last round of regulation.
Silly.
Oh my god, Riv.
I cannot believe this is what we're getting out of this game. Like, again, the simulation, I'm so glad it hasn't blue screened yet or anything that we're living in, because
Don't cast
this
this
is surreal. Oh my gosh. Sentinels is going to bring it in with a full 5, too. A flawless round to bring it within 1 to tie IceBox versus the guard. Again, both teams bringing not new comps for the guard, but new, very new in Sentinels for Zelsis and Shroud. and the rest of the team with the organization behind them and coaching and the guard adding Cupid after Masters 2. There's so many changes both teams have gone through. Holy crap, is this is the game that we get out of it. Absolutely amazing play coming out of both orgs.
I mean, look at that. I mean, one of those heroic plays, Jonah P's done it before on that Brimmy through the toxic screen, or trying to do that hero play from Saya player because you have the TP activated. So the reaction time that was needed for TenZ to get that kill was important. They got it. And now the Total False comes out for the defense. Saya player has it ready, also has a Phantom. A 0 point, actually spotted a few as well. As they fall back now for the guard. Time to play more passively. And we're just looking to execute towards this A side. Total False misses, but we also have the null command for VALORANT, so that's no utility to come out, at least for now. The Nightfall, the flashes, everything is coming out right now for the guard. So early into this round, we have a great opportunity to reset now for Sentinels.
The 4-1 still being played on defense by the guard. They were hoping that came into play, and Sentinels will be able to choose the right one. This mid wall, once again, instantly cleared. Valor's not going to make it through. Yeah, that wall is actually huge. The fact that it's solidified really starts to throw guard off and how they can rotate. Only one's going to be coming through. B's to play again, but the mollies, the plants,
the push!
No, Jonah P goes down.
Celsius with the headshot to Jonah P, but then runs back into the molly because that stays on for so long. It's a 4 versus 4. Off shot missed by TenZ. We're still moving forward inside the site now for Sentinels, and we're staying back at least, trying to run that clock down for the guard. Dapper doesn't have that wall anymore because he used it towards mid. We have to wait for the toxic screen to come back up, but this is an opportunity for the guard to push forward. We have to scrape through the wall as well. Oh, the body, the gun stick, Celso Dapper falls. Another shot from Saya player. Only 2 more to go. TenZ and Shazam. No Hunter's Fury as Shazam needs to get the kill to activate it on a 4 versus 2. A 0 point comes out, and TenZ is posted with this off, looking back towards Snowman, waiting for Saya player. They both get a kill. It's a 2 versus 2. Now we're pushing forward on a 1 versus 1. It's Trent. It's TenZ. Trent is moving forward. The swing. He gets the kill. We're going into overtime.
Incredible play down to the last drop. You can't ask for anything more, and it to be TenZ as well. The operator play coming through on the young Trent, taking him down. A clutch master of this series throughout. Holy crap, these rounds, Van Silly. We're going to overtime. The teams could not be pushing each other any harder to the max here. And it is the operator play. It is still TenZ to come up with the plays to make sure we get there. The chamber, the jet, it doesn't matter. Operator feels like home for this guy. We're in OT, round 25. Let's do it.
TenZ heard me, man. We talked about it. At some point in that second half, Zelsis at the bottom, Shroud at the bottom, TenZ at the bottom, and he's like, nope. I'm not ready to go down yet, man. This is the last chance qualifier, so it's your last chances to get things done. And Sentinels did a great job to bring this into overtime. Now, you just mentioned it, Riv, we're resetting things. The wall comes up on the B site, and Dapper gets a little bit of info from the Prowler being played by Trent from Garage.
You really, I can't believe what TenZ and Shazam have done for Sentinels in the past few rounds. I mean, you have to think the guard is a bit shook coming into this first overtime round with what just happened, how close they came each time. And then you just have to take another breath and do it all over again. Sentinels, though, hungry. A huge push up here onto B. Not too much forward pushing by Sentinels. They're still getting the only read. What they see is what they get right now. Yep. No real information gained on the map by anybody. A 0 point goes out.
There's a preemptive poison orb here coming out from a Shroud, so we're timing the push from the guard when the orb comes down. But the slow orb and Snakebite also comes in from Sentinel, so a great way to delay. And now you know the execution is coming out from the guard on the attack, and it's Valid and Net at least opening up the first 2. Shock Dart misses because of the smoke. Those damn Brimmy smokes. He lands both of them on the ground, and now we get the plant coming in from Jonah P. And Shazam swings out for the kill. Shock Darts can do it. I'll do it with my gun, man.
Just enough to get the frag there. Set up for a 3v3 to end us up on this round of our first overtime. A slow rotation here. You can see the intention coming in from the side of Sentinels. They're letting TenZ go as slow as possible before he meets with the team. And they get these shots in. Nobody wanting to peek. Nobody wanting to be the first one to go down. The shot misses!
Oh my! Valent's still there, though. Valent's still there, but Shroud stops him close range, so we're pushing forward from a nice haunt. But it's Shroud with the 3rd kill into the round, and a 4th kill into the round. The defuse comes in for Sentinels, and they retake the lead in the series.
He may have flew under the radar. He may have been a bit quiet throughout this game on IceBox, but Shroud with the 4K once again popping off exactly when they need it. Match point now for Sentinels as this game has gone back and forth in favor of Guard, in favor of Sentinels. Once again, game point for Sentinels. This is absolutely incredible, Van Silly. We have been blessed with a Valorant match here between Sen and Guard. Absolutely.
Definitely going to be blasting some Drake music after this series with the hashtag blessed for sure, man. This is a great way to kick things off for the LCQ. And let me remind you once again, chat, that we have another series coming up after this, and that's FaZe versus EG. But before that, let's see the conclusion of this one. It's continuing to be intense as you talked about the Guard potentially being shook here. No forward pushes. Look at how the three players are working towards mid. Jump spot, super passive towards back A, looking to play the retake. The only one that's really aggressive is Saya player in the front of green.
Sentinels towards mid. A contact mid play. Not a piece of utility used. Absolutely brazen, and they find Jonah P utility out in overtime.
No way, but we still have Trent in the back of the site. It's traded out by Tens once again. Spike picked up, traded out by Valen. Spike is down once again with the fragment on the ground. Alert towards mid doesn't work out. It's a player advantage back into the Guard as Net is pushing forward. Zelsis thought he had the timing. Now it's Shroud on the 3 versus 1 as he leans out. Net brings it into another overtime.
We go from the round before to this? To absolutely just pushed it mid and then taken out. What? It blew my mind. If I was Sentinels, I'd be like, why the hell are there 2 spawn looking through the Omen TP spot? Through Omen Playground. Why are there 2 there? Oh my gosh, the Guard just mixing it up.
I even thought that was going to be one of those moments where Jonah P has been playing lights out this map and then gets caught off guard by that one by Dapper, and that was going to be the nail in the coffin. But thankfully, the Guard were able to trade back and fight back to show this double overtime. We're resetting things. That momentum that was built by Sentinels off that retake is now gone from how that round panned out here for the Guard.
2-1-2 across the map. Super default defense by Sentinels here to make sure they have utility on each side that they can use to delay or get that 1v1 duel. The same thing really set up by the Guard. They have taken this one patiently. I think we may be moving into the not want to lose phase of the game where we may get a little bit hesitant on the plays. I would be very surprised to see a super fast play coming out here, but that's what we love. We love to be surprised. And just, it's going to be a waiting game right now eventually. We're down to 1 minute. I think everybody has cemented in place right now.
Dangerous position at the beginning of this round for Shroud, though. Because if he actually does get flushed out by a Prowler, by a Haunt, by a Recon, or anything, or should I say a 0 point, he's not the one that's going to be able to TP away. So you're going to have to run that Snake Bite onto the ground to run the delay because you want to use Tens to look down towards under 2 from his positioning on the top of B. So that's on lock at least for now. And the Guard are looking to work towards A site at the beginning.
30 seconds left.
Push through. Wall's already there. Remember, that choke point really did him in last time, so they're going to make sure they clear out most of it. No flash play to come through. Sentinels isn't ready for it. The wall goes down, a bit of a mistiming.
2 openers. Beautiful flash from Valen as well.
10
That's it.
seconds left.
It's a 5 versus 2.
Yeah,
but it's Shroud and Tens.
So quick.
Shroud and Tens. Only Tens with the first headshot. Second one connects onto Net. Looking back towards the 410. 70 HP left. 10 bullets in the chamber. Speaking of chambers, he also has Headhunter.
Molly set up by Jonah P just on the right there by Electric Box on your right. Good and happy to fire that out and set up for another one. Is he going mid or around? He is. Look at the rotation by Jonah P right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's laced up and sprinting mid after firing the molly. The ability to continue to delay. You have to be kidding me. They have like a guarantee on this round. A 2-year guarantee right there. 14 to 13. The Guard pulling into the favor now in OT. Oh my gosh. Game point. Let's go.
Jonah P paying back from the mistake from that previous round where they almost lost that after it got picked off by Dapper. And now he buys back with insurance. It's a warranty, as you mentioned before. They had the orbitals trying to play the pulse plan, and now we finally have an opportunity for the timeouts to come back. and for Sentinels to figure out how they can bring this into a third overtime. But we talked about that confidence, Riv, that was flattened after the guard was able to bring it back to a 13-13. And then you see these type of plays that came out from Net and Valen to open up the A site. You need this timeout right now for Sentinels to not only calm things down, but also figure out how you could close it out at least into this round if you want to survive into the upper brackets.
I think one of the things that makes it so chaotic, and I hope I have a second to talk about this, is you have this utility coming in from the guard, and you can basically get all the denied space that you want, right? You're getting information by throwing a haunt somewhere. Nobody's there. 0 point covers a gigantic area. You know no one's there. And if it's one person at yellow, you know the rest are long B. And you can do the same thing at A. The guard is doing so good at identifying that negative space that they're not getting info from is where their opponents are. And they're using it so well. And Sens do the same thing with a bit of their comp with the KO and the Sova, so credit to both teams, but they're using it so well to dissect and take out Sentinels. Saya, Jonah, 25, 24 frags. Everybody's getting deep into this one. Prowler mid to start things off, and it looks like Tens is actually going to be on a solo mission this time.
It's been a while since we've seen some pipes control, and the alarm bot trademark now broken, TP out.
Okay.
This could work out for the later rounds, or the later half of this round. Upshot missed by Saya. Player still has that TP available. Looking to swing back out, and this Aljon will probably confirm that it's time to go for the TP back.
You know they always hold for possible shots there. The wall goes down quickly. Dapper trying to set up defense actually against his own wall. The forward positioning is a must right now. They have to be confident enough to use it. There's still a bit of hesitation on getting into the site from the guard. They want to know that Sen is just as committed. And here's the plant going down. The dink.
Plant, a dink indeed. Now the wall gets broken, but Shroud, he's still alive for a minute as he swings out.
The timing!
What a bait by Trent. How crazy are you going to do that in overtime? 2 kills then come back from the guard. It's a player advantage now for the defenders for the retake. But like I said, it's still planted for long. We have good positioning right now from Sentinels. No more fragments, no more post-plant positioning. And because of that, players are falling down. And now that allows the Viper Smith to come back. 1 more to go. It's Celsius with the kill due to smoke. Looking for the spray. It's back and halfway out with the classic. That gets the kill. And that's going to be the guard that finally seals it. 13-15 in their favor. And oh my God, Riv, it's time for you to take it because I need a breather.
What an amazing series coming out of both teams. It couldn't be said anymore. The guard pushing Sentinels to the max there. I'd say at the end, though, look at the rounds it took Shazam and Tens to capitalize into an overtime round. You really can't take away anything from either team on this. They played a hell of a series on both sides, but guard adapting, figuring out a little bit more. I think